Dawn breaks over a quiet American suburb. A faint orange glow settles across the rooftops. And in the middle of that stillness stands a silhouette, broad, steady, unmoving. The chest rises and falls with a calm rhythm. The head lifts just slightly as a breeze passes. Even without seeing the face, you can feel it. This isn't just a dog. This is a presence, a Rottweiler, a guardian shaped by history, but defined by loyalty. Let's explore with Animal Prime. Today we step into the world of the Rottweiler, the silent bodyguard with unbelievable strength, a dog whose appearance can intimidate, but whose heart, according to AKC temperament evaluations, ranks among the most stable and dependable in the entire working group. And as you watch that sunrise catch the deep mahogany highlights in its coat, you can't help but wonder, how can a dog with a bite force estimated at around 328 psi be so gentle with children, so attuned to human emotions, and so calm in moments when other breeds would react instantly? What makes the Rottweiler's protective response different, more measured, more deliberate than almost any other protection dog on Earth? Stay with us until the end, because we're going to reveal the science behind that instinct, what behaviorists call the protective assessment delay, a split-second pause where the Rottweiler evaluates a situation before responding. It's a mechanism that explains why a breed often labeled dangerous is, in truth, one of the most thoughtful guardians ever developed by humans. But before we dive into the myths, the misconceptions, and the remarkable science, we need to travel back, far back, to understand where this dog truly came from. Because to understand a Rottweiler's strength, you have to understand its purpose. And that story begins almost 2,000 years ago with the Roman Empire. Born from the march of an empire. Imagine the sound of thousands of hooves striking ancient roads. The Romans expanded across Europe for centuries, and with every legion came caravans, livestock, and a group of dogs bred for a singular mission: drive cattle, protect soldiers, and guard food supplies during months-long military campaigns. Modern research from the Fédération Cynologique Internationale and AKC traces the Rottweiler's ancestry directly to these Roman drover dogs. They were predecessors of Mastiff-type breeds, thick-boned, thick-headed, incredibly muscular, and selected for endurance, decision-making, and above all, controlled power. They weren't bred to attack, they were bred to work, to push livestock through unknown terrain, to stand between soldiers and potential threats, to carry small satchels or messages, to hold their ground when chaos erupted. Power was just a tool, discipline was the purpose. This is where the modern Rottweiler's body originates: the broad chest, the deep rib cage, the thick neck designed to anchor and pull. Adult males today typically weigh 95 to 135 pounds, with a strikingly high muscle density compared to other working dogs. Their speed often surprises newcomers. A Rottweiler can sprint up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, which is astonishing for such a solid, compact frame. But here's what's more important. The Roman legacy didn't just shape the Rottweiler's body, it shaped its mind. The butcher's dog of Rottweil, precision over force. When the Roman Empire collapsed, these dogs didn't vanish, they adapted. In what is now southern Germany, near the town of Rottweil, they became indispensable to butchers and cattlemen. They drove herds across long distances, protected merchants from thieves, and even carried purses tied around their necks, a tradition still referenced today. But here's the key. A dog responsible for expensive cattle could never rely on reckless aggression. A single misstep could injure livestock worth a family's entire income. So breeders reinforce qualities that today define the Rottweiler. Calm evaluation, controlled pressure, strong impulse control, focused forward movement, immediate response only when necessary. These traits are so core to the breed that modern behavioral studies from AVMA, AWDF, and European working dog clubs consistently highlight the Rottweiler as stable, balanced, and situationally aware, terms rarely associated with dogs unfairly labeled as dangerous. This history directly challenges the biggest misconception about Rottweilers: strength without chaos. In online debates, one question trends above almost all others: are Rottweilers dangerous? And the scientific answer is clear. Dogs are dangerous only when humans fail them. According to AVMA's multi-year bite incident analysis, the single biggest predictors of canine incidents are lack of training, lack of socialization, neglect or isolation, improper containment, irresponsible ownership. Breed is not a consistent predictor of aggression. Behavior is shaped by environment, guidance, and bonding, not genetics alone. That's why responsible ownership is essential. A Rottweiler with structure, training, and human connection is one of the most stable dogs in the world. A Rottweiler without those things is simply a powerful dog without guidance, just as any large breed would be. This documentary does not glorify aggression or encourage confrontational behavior. Instead, it highlights why power must come with responsibility and why breeds like the Rottweiler require engagement, training, supervision, and ethical breeding. Because strength without guidance isn't protection, it's risk. But strength guided by purpose, that becomes something extraordinary. A guardian defined by loyalty, not fear. Back in that quiet suburb at sunrise, the Rottweiler finally moves. Not with an explosion of energy, not with tension or alertness, but with intention. A slow step forward checking the yard, a pause to listen. A glance toward the front door, making sure the family it loves is safe. This is a dog whose ancestry taught it to watch over entire herds, safeguard soldiers, and analyze every movement with quiet precision. Not a fighter, not a monster, not a threat waiting to happen, but a protector shaped by thousands of years of partnership with humans. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore the secret behind that thoughtful expression, what scientists call the silent gaze, and why Rottweilers may understand human emotions more deeply than most people realize. There's a moment every Rottweiler owner knows well. A moment so subtle that unless you've lived with one of these dogs, you might miss it entirely. It's the quiet pause, the stillness behind those deep brown eyes, the slight tilt of the head as if the dog is reading something invisible. And in a way, it is. What many people don't realize is that behind that powerful frame lies one of the most emotionally intelligent minds in the canine world. This is the Rottweiler's silent gaze, a behavior so distinct that researchers in Europe have studied it to understand how these dogs interpret human emotion. To understand why this gaze is so extraordinary, we have to start with the science behind canine communication. Because the Rottweiler doesn't just look at you, it studies you. A window into human emotion. In 2016, researchers at the University of Helsinki published a fascinating study on canine emotional attunement. Working breeds, especially those historically selected for close human cooperation, showed heightened sensitivity to micro-expressions, vocal tone shifts, and changes in posture. The Rottweiler was one of the standout breeds. Dogs in the study looked longer, processed more slowly, and responded more accurately to emotional cues in humans compared to many non-working breeds. Their reactions weren't impulsive, they were evaluative, which is why a Rottweiler's gaze feels so different. It isn't just watching, it's analyzing, It's connecting emotion to context. This is exactly what makes them exceptional therapy dogs for veterans, first responders, and individuals recovering from trauma. They're not just affectionate, they're perceptive. A sudden tightening of the jaw, a shift in breathing, a change in footsteps. Small signals humans overlook, Rottweilers often catch instantly. The power of focused attention. Behaviorists from Duke University's Canine Cognition Center have written extensively about selective attention in guardian breeds. Because Rottweilers were bred to make decisions alongside humans, their brains evolved to assign high priority to human eye contact, emotional context, body language, environmental risk signals. This creates an almost uncanny focus. Watch a Rottweiler when a family member walks into a room. The dog doesn't simply wag its tail, it assesses. Is the person stressed, happy, carrying something heavy, acting differently from usual? Many owners report their Rottweilers adjusting their behavior based on these cues, becoming playful when the household is energetic, or calm and close when someone is upset. In modern behavior science, this is called emotional regulation mirroring, something seen in the most socially intelligent mammals. And because a Rottweiler pairs emotional reading with physical strength, responsible ownership becomes even more important. A dog this attuned to human energy requires a stable environment, predictable routines, and positive reinforcement to build trust and confidence. The protective assessment delay, a guardian's pause. In part 1, we introduced a concept that behaviorists sometimes refer to informally as the protective assessment delay. That split-second pause before a Rottweiler reacts in uncertain situations. This isn't hesitation, it's intelligence. Historical working behavior shaped this response. Cattle-driving dogs had to evaluate threats first, then act. A wrong move could scatter livestock or escalate a harmless situation into chaos. Today, that same trait appears when a Rottweiler stands between a child and an unfamiliar dog at a park, or when it senses tension between two adults talking nearby. Instead of lunging or barking first, the Rottweiler often observes, checks for cues, and responds proportionately. This is one of the many reasons the term dangerous breed is inaccurate when describing Rottweilers. Aggression without assessment? That's not a Rottweiler. That's a Rottweiler without training, socialization, or responsible care, something any powerful dog could struggle with. A well-raised Rottweiler uses its mind before its muscles. Calm, but never disconnected. One of the most remarkable traits in Rottweilers is the ability to remain calm without becoming indifferent. In behavior science, this is called engaged neutrality. A dog fully aware of its surroundings, but not emotionally reactive. Picture this: a family barbecue in a backyard. Kids running, adults chatting, a neighbor stopped by. The environment is lively and unpredictable. A nervous dog would pace. A reactive dog might bark at every sound. A well-trained Rottweiler? It sits in a shaded corner, eyes scanning slowly, relaxed yet attentive. It's not participating in the chaos, but it's aware of everything happening inside it. Only when something breaks the pattern, a sudden cry, a stranger stepping too close, a loud argument, does the dog shift posture and reevaluate the situation. Not to act aggressively, but simply to be ready. This posture shift is a subtle sign of a responsible guardian, one that protects not through force, but through presence. Real footage, behavior, gentle blocks, not confrontations. Search any video platform and you'll find countless clips of Rottweilers exhibiting what trainers call a defensive block or protective positioning. One popular clip shows a toddler waddling near a driveway as a large dog approaches in the distance. The Rottweiler calmly steps between the child and the path of the approaching dog. not with raised fur or bared teeth, but simply with quiet positioning. No aggression, no panic, no force, just intuition and training working together. These moments are why trainers emphasize structured socialization, ethical breeding, and positive reinforcement. They give the Rottweiler a stable mental framework, ensuring that its natural instincts manifest in safe, controlled, and compassionate ways. Because a Rottweiler's protective nature is not about dominance, it is about devotion. Not a mind reader, the human responsibility. Despite their extraordinary emotional intelligence, it's crucial to say this clearly and responsibly. No dog can be expected to interpret every human emotion correctly. No dog should be relied upon to judge dangerous situations on its own. And no amount of instinct can replace proper training, supervision, or understanding. A Rottweiler is a guardian, not a security system. A companion, not a deterrent device. A partner, not a weapon. Their intelligence is a gift, one that requires patience, structure, and ethical care. The heart behind the gaze. As part 2 closes, imagine once more that quiet pause, that slow, deliberate look that seems to see a little deeper than it should. That is the silent gaze. Not mystery, not menace, but understanding. In part 3, we'll explore the physical strength behind this emotional intelligence, the biomechanics, the history, and the modern roles that demand such power. The Rottweiler's emotional intelligence may be what captures hearts, but there's another side to this legendary guardian, one shaped by biomechanics, history, and a purpose that spans centuries. When you watch a Rottweiler move, you're seeing a harmony of power and precision rarely found in the canine world. And to understand that strength, we have to go beneath the fur, into the physics of the living shield. The body built for purpose, strength by design, not aggression. When people look at a Rottweiler for the first time, many assume the breed's power comes from brute force. But the truth is far more interesting and far more elegant. According to veterinary research from the American Working Dog Association, Rottweilers have one of the highest muscle-to-fat ratios among large breeds. Their deep chest allows for increased lung capacity. Their broad shoulders distribute force efficiently. Their thick, slightly arched neck stabilizes heavy loads. This combination creates controlled, endurance-based power rather than chaotic bursts of strength. A Rottweiler isn't built like a sprinter. It's built like a guardian athlete. Let's break down the key elements of its physics. 1. The forward drive structure. Rottweilers have a short, strong loin and a compact frame, maximizing torque and minimizing wasted movement. That's why they can pull carts, carry packs, and maneuver livestock with ease. Historically, butchers in the town of Rottweil relied on this body type to move cattle safely through crowded markets. 2. The joint stability advantage. Hip and elbow integrity is crucial in working breeds. Rottweilers were selectively bred for stability, meaning every step is grounded, balanced, and purposeful. Their movement appears heavy from afar, but up close it's controlled, almost effortless. 3. The measured bite capacity. The often quoted 328 psi bite force is a scientific estimate, not a target or a challenge. It reflects jaw shape and skull structure, not behavior or temperament. Bite force is a physical capability, not a behavioral prediction. A well-trained Rottweiler uses its jaw strength for tasks like holding, gripping, or carrying, not confrontation. 4. The balanced power-to-weight ratio. Despite weighing up to 135 pounds, A healthy Rottweiler can reach speeds of 20 to 25 miles per hour and pivot on a dime. This agility is why the breed historically excelled at herding, protection, and cart pulling. The body isn't designed for violence. It's designed for efficiency, endurance, and safe, controlled work. Calm strength in motion, power without chaos. One of the most misunderstood traits of the Rottweiler is its stillness. Unlike breeds that bark to warn or charge to intimidate, the Rottweiler often responds with silence. That silence isn't fear, it isn't uncertainty, it's a calculated presence. Behaviorists refer to this as low reactive attentiveness, a trait highly valued in therapy dogs, search and rescue canines, and service animals. It's the ability to stay grounded even when emotions run high around them. Imagine the scenario. A family is hiking along a wooded trail. A sudden noise rustles through the trees. While other dogs might bark or pull on the leash, a Rottweiler often freezes, listens, and assesses. If the sound is harmless, it returns to walking. If the situation feels unusual, it positions itself between the family and the direction of the noise. Not aggressive, not panicked, just ready. This balance between stillness and controlled action is what makes the Rottweiler unique among protection dogs. Modern working roles, strength guided by responsibility. Today, Rottweilers serve in a variety of roles across the United States, not because of brute strength, but because of reliability, focus, and trainability. Canine support, non-patrol roles. Although German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois dominate patrol work, Rottweilers are valued in specialized roles like evidence detection, security perimeter checks, non-aggressive guard tasks, emotional support duties for certain officers. Their calm temperament and strong bonding instincts make them well-suited for controlled environments where stability matters more than speed. Search and rescue, SAR. Historical records show that Rottweilers have assisted in several SAR teams, particularly in disaster zones requiring debris navigation, endurance tracking, load carrying. The breed's solid build allows them to move through rubble with balance, and their emotional intelligence helps them stay focused around distressed civilians. Therapy and support animals. In recent years, therapy programs across the U.S. have begun highlighting Rottweilers as ideal emotional support partners because of their steady temperament, deep human connection, ability to remain calm when others are not. Veterans suffering from PTSD often prefer Rottweilers precisely for this stable, grounding presence. Family guardians, a role earned, not assumed. A Rottweiler's loyalty can be profound, but modern professionals stress an essential truth. A guardian dog is born with potential, not certainty. Training shapes the outcome. For safety and ethical reasons, responsible guardianship includes early socialization, positive training frameworks, consistent routines, supervised interactions with children, ethical breeding practices, avoiding confrontational methods. Strength without guidance is unpredictable. Strength with structure becomes trustworthy. Not a weapon, a companion with power. It's important to say this clearly. A Rottweiler is not a living alarm system or a tool for intimidation. They're not meant to be placed in threatening situations or trained to act aggressively. A Rottweiler protects through presence, not violence. Its greatest strength is stability, not force. Its loyalty is earned through kindness, not fear. The dog that once drove Roman cattle and guarded merchants does not need to act aggressively to keep a family safe. It simply needs partnership. The legacy of the living shield. As we come to the end of our journey, picture once more that Rottweiler in the early morning light. Broad shoulders, steady breath, eyes quietly watching over the world it loves. You now know the truth behind that presence, the biomechanics that shaped its power, the history that shaped its purpose, the emotional intelligence that shapes its actions, the responsibility humans carry when sharing life with such a capable companion. A Rottweiler is more than a strong dog. It's a legacy, one built alongside us for thousands of years. And like all legacies, it deserves respect, guidance, compassion, and understanding. So now I'll ask you, did today's documentary change the way you see the Rottweiler's strength? Which trait surprised you the most? Its emotional intelligence, its physical design, or its calm, protective nature? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more cinematic journeys into the world of extraordinary animals, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching Animal Prime, where the wild is always alive.